Hi, Monique Guild, futurist, business intuitive turnaround and development strategist. So, um, I get to work with global political situations in all capacities, whether it's working with my client at the World Economic Forum, who oversees the General Council of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Terrorism, Organized Crime, Genetics, and Migration for the World Economic Forum in Geneva, to being behind the scenes for 10 months during the 2016 election, to my clients in El Salvador, who are the most prominent family there that are fourth generation coffee growers, and it goes on and on. They established the educational system there, and bombs dropping in Syria, you name it. I've been able to work with it. I had a client recently ask me what my thoughts were. A client I absolutely adore. She said, "What are your thoughts? Did the people change the energy of what happened with Trump, and why Biden won and all that sort of stuff?" And I said, it's a much longer answer than that. I couldn't answer it quickly. And I wanted to start off with saying how we end a relationship, whether it's personal or professional, is how we begin the next relationship. And so it's so important to clean up your past mistakes or past grievances with the previous person, as well as look at the blessings that came out of that relationship and focus on those. Because whatever you were focusing on, whatever you're chiming in with other people, and if you're talking really badly about someone or people, you're sitting with that energy, not the person that you're talking about. So just keep that in mind. And I have a few things I want to bring up here. So on Saturday, we got to see the world in such joy, in such happiness, with Biden and Harris being elected. We'll see still, but 90% sure that they're elected. And the world got to dance in joy and happiness. People haven't done this in months and months and months, and all out and about, all over the world, cheering and dancing and happy. And I was watching this and I thought, well, this is great, but aren't we in the middle of COVID? Like, don't we have a major pandemic going on? And then last night, in the middle of the night, I woke up and I posted on Instagram, like, what's up with this? Why do we get to dance now and people aren't shutting us down and locking us up? Or why isn't even the media saying there is a pandemic going on, get back inside your house? No one said anything about this. So are we in the middle of a pandemic or are we not? That's my first bugaboo. Like, what the F is up with that? And then the second thing I really want to go back to is this thing about leaving one relationship and starting another. So back in October 8th of 2016, I'd be happy to send you this newsletter that I wrote. This was before, it was before the election, right after Trump was elected. And I wrote a newsletter titled, "Thank God for Trump. He's a big fat foghorn." And on it, there's a huge red foghorn. And at first, a lot of people lambasted me for this, like, thank God for Trump, or you out of your mind. But if you read on, which I'm going to read to you now, you'll get to see what I was talking about. So here's the newsletter. It says, "Thank God for Trump. He's absolutely a big fat foghorn for almost everything that needs healing in our society." Okay. As an analogy, I always say to my clients when referencing healing their businesses, business blocks, it's like making a big pot of chicken soup. You put your water in, your broth, your vegetables, chicken, etc. Let it simmer, allow the fat to bubble up to the top. And if you want to be super sure to get most of the fat out, Put the pot in the refrigerator. The fat will be frozen at the top, and scoop it out, and then you can have a great bowl of chicken soup. As a result of who Trump is, we get to heal as a society. It's just the macro because of his position of the micro. This is nothing new. His rhetoric, banter, and belief systems are not new. He just has the balls/stupidity to put a foghorn to it all. Better yet, he is in the public eye, which is just the fat being frozen at the top. Thank God, because now we get to scoop out that fat individually as well as collectively and get out of victim mode. Now keep in mind, this is written in October of 2016. I'm a futurist. I see what's coming. Bottom line, I see what's coming. I see what happened historically in the past to cause your business to get stuck and so on. It's just the gift I have. All right, so to go on. There's been pretty much nothing that he has not lambasted. Women, women's rights, gays, blacks, immigration, gun control, or not, etc., etc. He is everything we get to heal within ourselves, our society, communities, and as a nation and a world. The moment I have one finger pointing at someone who is steering at the helm of the boat, he is the captain of his boat right now. At least he stands for what he stands for. We know what we are getting. He is not a people pleaser. And so it was steering the helm of the boat. And I'm sitting in their boat. If I'm blaming them, I'm sitting in their boat, mocking and judging, and all this is just a distraction to my own life. Anything that pretty much puts me in a victim seat, then I have three fingers pointing back at me. It's easy to criticize the captain, the person in the public eye, but what about behind closed doors in our own homes and hearts? That's where we get to be captains of our boat. Or are we? Where have we not taken responsibility? If I believe that I attract everything into my life, that I am frequency specific to everything that comes into my life because of the nature of atoms and how they operate, at this time in our history, I'm sitting on a boat that I am frequency specific to. This time, space, reality. It's atoms and molecules. And it must be true that somehow I am responsible for all that shows up in my life. When I take responsibility and ask first, what do I need to heal within myself? What is it about this situation or person that is stirring something up inside of me that I need to heal? How have I contributed to this? That's the moment the healing begins within, which is the micro. It takes me out of victim mode, puts me at the helm of my own boat, and then I get to make better decisions, be proactive, get out of the judgment game, and then society, communities, our leaders, the macro, will represent the micro and are better able to represent and answer the question, what's in the interest of the greater good? In all situations, I get to be the greatest ideal of me. It's a choice, but sometimes I don't realize that my self-esteem, self-worth, valuing my life, and having a deep reverence for all of my gifts, talents, flaws, etc., needs an overhaul. I can use the foghorn as a wake-up call for me to value me and heal anything and everything that is getting in the way of not appreciating all that I have become. That way I can see it in you and help others who want the same. The material world and outside stuff is not going to fix it. It's an inside job for sure. Lord knows I'm not perfect, but if I'm willing to press the pause button, not blame, shun, or judge another, and instead ask, what is it about this person or situation that is pushing so many buttons inside of me that I need to heal within myself? When I start there, I am empowered to make better decisions. There are women who showed up for Trump that allowed him to behave the way he behaved. They didn't set boundaries because of low self-esteem and self-worth, and they were possibly not valued as children. It's about self-esteem and valuing oneself. I wonder about valuing oneself. I wonder where he is on the self-esteem level. People come into our lives to evolve us or to show us who we've been and where we need to heal. But it's up to me to stop pointing fingers and look within. That's where the healing lies, and the transformation may begin to take place, individually as well as collectively. So thank you, Mr. Trump, for showing us who we've become as a society and what needs to be healed individually as well as collectively. We have a great road of transformation that's beginning now, and we get to look forward to. So thank you for being a foghorn and speeding up the process of what needs to happen. We can begin to take proactive actions now that are not based in resistance or judgment, like putting up a wall, but acceptance, going within, and making a decision to no longer be a victim in our own lives. What we resist persists. So going back to what my client asked me, did the people help change the energy and heal? Well, honestly, because of who Trump is, he forced, as I said, all this fat to bubble up to the top. He showed us what needed to be healed. It was forced up as a result of who he is. So when we leave one relationship and start another, we get to thank that person for showing us who they were, which caused something to stir inside of me. There were so many movements that are started in this last 4 years. You name it. Every kind of movement you can imagine was started as a result of this guy. So thank you for Trump. Thank you for being who you are. Because we started Black Lives Matter, the whole women thing with the Harvey Weinstein, all this sort of stuff. Every single thing on every single level came up and showed us where we needed to heal, and people rose. There's never been so many proactive people politically, at least not since I've been alive, and people feeling passionate and alive and having things to talk about. So we get to thank this guy for who he was. As much as you hate him or don't like him, look at what he caused, what his bombastic principles and attitudes and behavior caused and awakened within us. And so we thank him. Thank you so much, because we want to walk out of one relationship into the next, being in a different energy and not so stuck on how stupid this guy was or how bad he was, but thanking him for what he caused so that we can move on and grow as a society, and grow within our communities, grow as a nation and as a world. Now, the one thing I do want to say is, though, and I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, what's up with everybody dancing in the streets? Not so much what's up with that, but what's up with not being blocked about it when Biden and Harris won? I don't get it. Like, are we in a pandemic or are we not? So to me, something's very fishy with all this. They were saying in California that we can only have 6 people for Thanksgiving dinner, like it's a law. And I'm saying bullshit. Like, what the F is up with all this that just went down and nobody said anything about it? So there's a lot of hypocrisy going on. And both sides of the fence, there's pluses and minuses in every situation. The main thing is we want to bless people, thank them for being who they are, to help us evolve into our next level. And so I just wanted to comment and to answer my client's question. Yes, did the people help evolve and change the energy and move Trump along and have him out of office and Biden and Harris in? Absolutely. But it was because of what Trump did and who he was in a bombastic way with who he is and the way he acted that causes people to rise up and become who they became even stronger and louder. They had to be. So we have to look at where it originally started. Thank that person. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day.